Okay, so let's get started. First of all, moving this around, and then next thing with the agenda of the day. So this is what we will be discussing today at our webinar. So first, we're going to start with some news. We have some quick reminders. We're going to talk about the release improvements for this month. We're going to do a short demo. And then at the end, we have the members manager training. So we have a lot of things to do today. So we're going to move forward. And the first news we wanted to share with you is that we have some new villages joining, and we wanted to welcome to our community Kingdom Care Senior Village, which is a village in Washington, D.C., and the Vashon Senior Center in Vashon Island, Washington State, on the other coast. So welcome to the community of villages. And here we have a set of reminders, and this will be Joel that will be presenting them. So Joel, whenever you want, if I find my mute button. Here.
Okay, hi everyone. Just a reminder that next week we have our V2V hosted webinar. That'll be on the 27th of January at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific time. For customer service, please visit our help center, and then you can also go onto Slack as well. It's a great place to talk to each other and learn things from each other. And then please submit your improvement ideas to askhelpfulvillage.com. And then you can use this link to look at the spreadsheet of all the improvement ideas that we have. We have a new national coordinator for the V2V hosted webinars. So welcome, Gary. He's from Jersey Village Senior Outreach. It's great to have you.
Glad to be here.
Awesome. And then, so we got Gary set up with an email. So if you have questions that you would like to get addressed at the V2V webinar, please use this email to send them over to Gary. And so another reminder that we are doing national events. So villages without any events, they look not as nice as they could. So national events is a great way to get something on your calendar. You don't have to put in any effort. We do everything for you. There's no extra cost, and it's easy and secure to join. So a little bit more information right now for national events. We've got gentle yoga. So the ticket price for gentle yoga is $6.99 per person per class. Payments are through Stripe, so you pay with a credit card. Easy peasy, you don't have to leave Helpful Village. You can, event participation, the list is visible in your village and included in your reports, so you can see who's attending. And for anybody that is attending and has any feedback about it, please send us an email. We'd love to hear what you think about it. And so this only shows up on your calendar if you had signed up. And to get signed up, please submit a request. All you have to say is, we'd like to sign up for national events. And this is, again, we released our new help center. To submit a request, in the upper right-hand corner, you click on submit a request. You do not need to sign in. You can submit a request without being signed in. You can use the search bar to search through our articles. Just use keywords. Like if you have a question about MailChimp, write in MailChimp, and all the articles that have anything to do with MailChimp pop up for you. You can also search by category. So we've got the getting started, social phase, so on and so forth. And so you can look through those areas as well. When you submit a request, make sure you give us your email address and then type in a detailed subject line. And so when you type in a detailed subject line, it pops up with articles that it thinks it could potentially, that could help you, so that you maybe don't have to wait for a request and you can find your answer in the articles. And then again, a reminder, for bugs and questions, submit a request via the Help Center. And then if you have ideas, please submit that at askhelpfulvillage.com. And so we've got Many new training articles and videos this month, which is great. We've got some new Help Center articles for admin. We have a ton of new Help Center articles for end users, and we have some new video tutorials. So all the Help Center articles for admin, we have how to create a Zoom event with the Zoom module, how to create a Zoom event with Zoom version 1, what are all the different RSVP required options, the difference between registering someone on an event and adding them to the attendance list, how to add an affiliate to an organization, how to remove an affiliate from an organization, our premium features pricing list, and then how to delete pages from the menu manager, and how can I remove icons from the navigation bar. And then this is the part that we're really excited about. We have put up a ton of stuff for end users. So we've got over 30 new articles that are just for members. And then we've got 20 new articles for volunteers. And so I've also made a short demo for members. It kind of takes them through everything they need to see about using Helpful Village as a member. Same for volunteers and same for donors. And so you'll see that there's a whole nother category on the main page of the Help Center that's called Training for Members and Volunteers. And I'll hand it back over to Manuel for release notes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Joel. So as you can see, we have been working hard on some more training articles on the Help Center. So I hope you enjoy those and you will navigate those. So the next step is for me, I'll be talking about the release improvements we have done this month. So these improvements have been coded, but they will become available on your servers only this weekend when we deploy them to the server. So let's get there. Okay, first improvement we have done is for the member, the user profile. So when you go to My Profile on your page, we had before, you can see all these tabs: contact, member, volunteer, agenda. And the improvement we did this month is that we added the membership buttons that you see there, the 3 ones. So to make a one-time payment for membership, to do monthly installments, or to update the credit card for monthly payments. So all these features were available through the top menu under the membership menu item, but it just made so much sense to have them also on the user profile in the member tab. So people can do it now from the menu or also from their profile. This came from a conversation with Mount Pleasant Village, so it's a good idea. So thank you for that. And it's connected to this other second idea, which is that this village wanted to send to their members a link that would allow them to open up the page that I just showed you before. So how, so basically now if you want to use this link, which is, basically yourvillage.helpfulvillage.com/users/my_profile, and then !tab name. So it's going to open the tab name. It's going to open the member tab of my profile. So, if you have questions about this, you can talk with our support system. But basically, the whole idea is that you can use that link that you can send to your member that will open up the member tab of their profile without having them navigate to click on my profile, click on the member tab, etc. This is a shortcut to the same spot. Okay, Margie, I think you have a question, so you can unmute.
Do they still have to sign in to get to that?
Yes, so it's protected information. They need to sign in. If they are not signed in, they will be presented with the sign-in screen. So just log in, enter the password, and then after entering their password, it will take them to the specific page. It's a good question.
Thank you.
And then if you're logged in, it will not show the sign-in screen. Okay, I wanted to mention this other action that I thought was super interesting. We did last week. It's just about the vaccines. So we have heard of villages being very busy with a lot of questions and solicitations about the vaccines. We have this specific village in California that helped coordinate vaccine operation. They got in contact with a local doctor that had vaccines. And the doctor was looking for people to vaccinate. So they contacted this village And the village say, yeah, perfect. So they invited their members to get it done. And even beyond their members, they invited their community at large. They even talked to the media, local media, saying, well, we have, we can help seniors in our community get vaccinated. If you're interested, come to our website. So what we did is on their contact page, right, where you already had first name, last name, email address, and phone, we added this checkbox here, which allows the person that potentially goes to their website to click that box, say, yes, I'm interested in vaccines. So now what happens is that if they do that, they provide the first name, last name, their email address and phone. They check that box. Then we're going to create that person in the database, and we're going to automatically put that person in a tag. And the tag is going to be called interested in vaccines, right? The result for this specific village is that, because they got some media attention, they had several hundred people that went to their website, that entered their first name, last names, email address, and phones, checked on that box. So they have now a list of, 300 or 400 people tagged interested in vaccines that they themselves enter their names, phones, and email address. So that saves a ton of time for the village if you have kind of a similar operation. We have heard of other villages that are doing some very interesting things around vaccines. Our team was discussing with Jim in Taos, and I know kind of what should be the role of villages to coordinate vaccination. And I think it's super interesting. We're just being a little bit careful because vaccinations and healthcare, there are specific HIPAA requirements if we go too far. So I just wanted to invite everybody to, try to help their community the best they can, but also be careful, not going too deep with kind of medical information. It's something we want to investigate. So as you remember from the last conference, we want to investigate and go deeper into the healthcare aspect so that we can make it easier for you to coordinate this kind of operation. Now, in the short term, this is not medical information, interest in vaccines. It's just people that are interested. So your village can have this checkbox and have people tagged automatically if they're interested in vaccines, if you want to have this deployed for your contact form. Whew.
So on that point, Erica has a good question. Will this be optional?
Yeah, that's optional. Okay, and we can keep going. Okay, next feature is the custom fields. Some villages have some, we have the standard helpful village fields, first name, last name, etc. Some villages have some custom fields they have added to their database. For example, I don't know, a veteran status, now that I remember, for one of our villages, and you can add that information, but this information was not showing in the member report. Well, that information is now showing in the member report. So if you have custom fields, you can now print them on your spreadsheet reports. Okay, this one is super exciting feature. Put quite some effort here, and I'll be demonstrating this later because it's related to membership. So I want to explain this further into the membership manager training that we're doing later today. But we added a report there, the one that says missing membership payments. So from now on, it will be easier to track if you have not only your active members, etc., but if you have received all the membership payments that were expected to receive, right? Either monthly payments or one-time payments. I'll go deeper into explaining this report at our member management training later today, but it's an improvement. Okay, this one is more of a wording thing. This is basically we changed the label here for the button that says edit trip. So this is a service request that is of transportation, where we're saying on this date for this member, she's going to a hair appointment and she's going from her home to the hair salon or something. Here before we had just edit, and then we can add trip if you have a second leg. For example, let's say that she's going to the hair salon and then she needs to go to the pharmacy. Well, then you can say, well, from the hair salon to the pharmacy, and then from the pharmacy to her home, and you can have a three-legged request. So you can add more trips to a request that you could do already before. The only change we introduced this month is that this button was called edit before, but some people were confused about what they were editing. So we just added the word edit trip to make it clear, such as wording. Okay, so we have some changes in events that are also exciting. This is kind of interesting. We added a label on the event description that says no spots available. And what we were doing before, now it sounds bad, but at the time made some sense, is that we were showing the number of spots available. You have 3 spots available, etc. Now, when you have no spots available, the admins could still go in and add people in the participants list because, you know, the admin have superpowers. And then the pure math that we were applying before, you could have -2 spots available, because it's true, you will overflow the attendance of that event because admins were adding people to the attendance list. But I mean, it was not very elegant, so we changed the message we're displaying publicly. So if it goes, you know, to 0 or below 0, we will just say no spots available. So that just makes more sense. Okay, so here we added a little bit of colors. You know that in some cases you have some events that are not visible to your members and volunteers. So there is a checkbox visibility. In that case, we added some color here. So the description box here on the left is now red, and there is this message here that says only visible to admins. So obviously, once you validate this event, if you want to make it visible to your members and events, this red color will disappear. Okay, this has a long sentence, but it's not all that complicated. Is that, so we have these different options, right, for RSVP. Is that if you want to do force people to pre-register for the event, or if you're okay with having them doing an instant registration, just click on the join online meeting now if there is not limited, and then you allow people to just join the meeting without pre-registering. There is another thing that we did that is interesting, is that now when you're logged out of, you're not logged in to the website, we're showing the join the online meeting now button on that event. So it will not let you in if you're logged out and you go to the website and you see this button. It will invite you to enter your password, and then once you enter your password, well, then you're taken to the Zoom meeting link. Just wanted to clarify that if this changes nothing to the Zoom version 1 or Zoom version 2. So if you can also join the meeting from the email, from the confirmation email, or from the reminder email. But for people that are not using their email but are going to the website and want to just join the online meeting from there, this button will show if you're logged in, but also if you're not logged in. But if you're not logged in, it will ask you to log in first. Oh, okay, so here is not really about the behavior of the join online meeting, but here, this is the email confirmation, right, for these Zoom meetings. Before, we had a button here that said join online meeting now on the email. But for example, if you register for the event kind of a week in advance, some people were getting confused. Kind of, they received the confirmation email and they thought they needed to click on the join online meeting now, but kind of the meeting is not happening now. That's the link to join the online meeting a week from now. So that we just removed the word now from that button based on feedback we received from villages. So just this one is wording too. Okay, this one is, I think, interesting, essentially for people that are on the Zoom module or Zoom version 2, is that we added this padlock here on the participants list. And so this icon, what it's doing is that it's showing you the people that have a personal Zoom link to that event. So that requires Zoom version 2. The other thing that is interesting is that before this month, if you were cloning a past event with participants, well, we were not creating the personal link, right? So it would bring over the participants, but they didn't have the participant link. Now, what we have done now is that, okay, imagine you have a link that was on Zoom. Now you click on clone this event with participants. It will create a new event that will not be synchronized to Zoom, because this is something that you need to do manually, add it to Zoom. And then once you add it to Zoom, you'll have the possibility once you add it to Zoom, it will add the personal link for the people, for the participants that were cloned, even after the fact. God, my words were not super clear, but what we were doing before is that before, if you were cloning an event with participants, we were not creating a personal link for them. And now it's it's just better once you clone it and you add it to Zoom, we will generate a Zoom link for them. And you can double check that they have a personal link if they have the padlock associated to their registration line. The other thing you can do is that if you click on this padlock button, it's gonna send them the Zoom link for the event at the time you click that padlock. And that is another, you can do that in another way. Also, is like you can go to the edit, you see the edit button on the right, which allows you to edit the participation of this person. When you click on edit, oh yeah, this is the same one. When you click on edit, there will be a button here that says send an event reminder email to participants now. So if you click on that button, it's gonna send the participant an email, including the Zoom link, if there is one. Okay, this one is a funny one for the holidays. So when we register for an event, right, there is something that is called an event attachment. It's called ICS technically. What it does is that it allows people to add it to their personal device calendar, right? Like if you register for an event and I want to add it to my iPhone calendar or my Google calendar or my iCalendar, etc., they basically can do that. Now, before we were not using the time zones for this event, so it was adding it to your calendar, and there was no problem if you were on the same time zone. What happened is that for holidays, for Christmas, some people were traveling out of their time zones, and then it revealed basically it added to their calendar, to their personal calendars on their devices on the wrong time zone. So we just fixed it. So now, whatever time zone you're in, if you add it to your personal calendar, it will be fine. It will, it will be on the time zone information will be added. Okay, so this is another change, is that admins can now make donations to archived campaigns. So these are fundraising campaigns, right? So you can choose, create, and have multiple fundraising campaigns. You have active campaigns and archived campaigns. The active campaigns are those that people can donate to publicly, right? And you can have some others that are archived because you're no longer accepting donations for those. The improvement with it this month is that now the admins can make a donation for an archived campaign, which was not the case before. So basically archive is just hiding it from the public, but the admins can still donate to those. Okay, and now we're jumping to Village Talk. So conversations and chats. We added, if you go to that interest group, we added this checkbox here that you can choose for each interest group. And you can say, well, if you want to make this a default interest group so that all active members will be enrolled automatically when they sign up as a new member, they will automatically be enrolled into this interest group, but they can unsubscribe if they are not interested, right? So some interest groups, if this is not checked, well, people can decide to join a conversation topic. If this one is checked, they will by default be enrolled in that interest group, but they can remove themselves if they don't think, they're not interested by that information. If you're not using Village Talk, you're not impacted by this change. There is another change we have done with Village Talk based on feedback. Just change that sentence there that says, what conversation topic do you have in mind, Christina? So when you're starting a new conversation, just clarify that sentence saying that that is the topic of the conversation. If you want to type the message, you also can click on type your message here, which is kind of a longer description, but the topic should be short. And then if you want to say kind of something longer, you should click on that red link there that says type your message there for additional details. So this is a good feedback. Want to thank Northwest Village Network in Philadelphia for this feedback. Okay, this is also about wording, but it's a huge improvement. This is in the general tab of a person. You can associate people, right? Saying, well, this person is the mother of this other person. Like you see there, Elda Rodriguez is the mother of this person, of the person you're currently looking at. Or this other person is a village buddy of this other person. So the relationship, there is no change in there. So you can still associate, myself with Elda or this person with this other person, etc. Whatever has changed is just the wording about this. So before it was a little bit cryptic. It was saying Elda Rodriguez, mother, this person. but you didn't know who is the mother of who. So we just added the is the mother of this person, so that it is easier to read and to understand who is the mother of what person. By the way, these relationships are bidirectional. So kind of Elda Rodriguez is my mother, but I'm not. So I'm her son. So you can create the relationship in both directions. So I am the son of Elda, and Elda is my mother. But anyways, this is an improvement we did for village maps, which is a premium feature. So if you don't have it, you won't see it. But basically, we had people and members that were living in the same building. And basically what we were doing is that, well, the geolocation of those people were exactly one on top of the other. So you would not see the, the icons, you cannot click on them. So what we do now is that if they have the exact same geolocation or address because they're living in the same building, well, basically we're just doing this kind of flower design where basically we're moving a little bit the icon so that you can click on the next one. But actually all these people here are exactly in the same address. All these people here are exactly on the same address too. So just move a little bit the icons so that they are not on top of each other. Okay, so this is an improvement for the newsletter. So we have villages, most of the villages have, I don't know, a monthly newsletter or bi-monthly newsletter. Some villages, in particular Marin, is a hub spoke, and basically they have several newsletters in the same month. So just what we did is that in that case, if you have several newsletters in the same month, we are first sorting by dates, and second, we're sorting by alphabetical order. In the past, it was so now you see here in this example, there is Marin villages newsletter. The next one will be Mill Valley, and the next one will be Novato. So just alpha order makes more sense. Okay, so this one is interesting. It's also a request we received from villages is mileage, right? When you go on service requests, and then there is this service evaluation form. When we have a transportation request, we were asking, how much time did it take and how many miles did the volunteer report? Kind of, if the volunteer said, well, this ride was for 2.5 miles or something. So we automatically added for transportation requests, but now we added an option in settings. So if you go settings and then services, and you will see a new checkbox here that says, ask the mileage question in the volunteer service evaluation for all services. So even for those that are not about transportation, so let's say, for example, it's for computer assistance or something, some villages got grants and they get funds, or they refund the volunteer because they drove to the member house. So if you want to ask the mileage question every time, you can check that box, and that question will pop up in the evaluation form. So by default, it will not be checked. So if you don't want to ask it, don't do anything. But if you want to have it asked, you need to go in there and check that box. Okay, so this one is one thing we improved for the photo galleries and albums. So we added some new fields to the photo gallery. So before we only had the name, so you can say, well, the January event, and this is a photo gallery including pictures. But we added now control kind of rights management. So now you can decide if you have some galleries that are public. In the past, we were assuming that all galleries were public, so everyone could see those pictures. But now we are being a little bit, more careful. And basically, we're saying that you can create a gallery and say, well, this gallery is only visible for active members and volunteers. So people would need to log in to see them. One of the options down here is to keep them public. So if you want to make them public, you can, people don't need to log in. There is another thing we did here is that we added another field that is the kind of a date for the gallery. So basically, this date will be used to sort the different galleries in your photo album chronologically. So you can use that date to basically order the galleries that are being shown. Okay. Let me see how are we doing with timing. We're doing good. Okay, so now this is an improvement we have done towards additional languages, and in particular Spanish. So you all know that we spent quite some time translating the software into Spanish, but we had an issue And is that, for example, there are some menu managers that, so menu pages that you had created, actually you will see it in the next. Well, first, let's go step by step. First thing is that we have added a new option here that is adding an additional language to your website, right? And that is something that you will find in settings and then miscellaneous here. And then is additional language. By default, it will be only English as it is today, but you will have the possibility to say, we want it in English and Spanish. And if you change that setting, basically the direct consequence is the following, is that now the menu manager, now you will see the menu item as it is called now. You have the name that you gave it, right? Let's say village info, but now you have the possibility to write a translation into Spanish, right? So basically here, you say village info, you can now go in and enter the name of the menu in Spanish. Let me show you on the website. Yep. And that's the last improvement we're talking about today. So let me go here on demo, and I can show you this. Yeah. First thing I'm gonna do is here, if we go to settings, and then under settings, you go miscellaneous here, and then here you have the additional language, and you have these two options. You have only English and English and Spanish. So we chose English and Spanish, and because we did that, now we have the possibility to see the website in English or in Spanish. So the next thing I would do is that if I click on Spanish here, you'll see here that we translated these standard menus, right? For example, here, miembros, eventos, and stuff like that, that we changed. But there are some options here that are your customized menu management items that are still showing in English. Because we don't do an automatic translation of these, and these are customizable. You can choose whatever you want. So let's just go back to English here. And then if you go to admin, and if you go to settings, and then you go to the menu manager, and then now you choose, for example, organizational info. Now it will allow you to have, well, this will be the name in English of your menu item, and then you can, go in here and enter a Spanish translation for that. God, I don't know how to put the accent with my keyboard. There is an accent here on the O. I didn't forget it. And then you save that. And when you do that, basically, it's like if you look at the menu here, you see it says organizational info in English. And then if we go to Spanish, it should say here organización. So I don't know. Oh, God, I know what happened. I changed it on the public menu. Let me do it again. Admin, settings, then menu manager. So what happens here is like we have two menus, right? This is a public menu and this is a private menu. This is a public menu that people see when they're not logged in, but I'm logged in, so I didn't see the changes I did here. And this is a private menu, which is the menu people see when we're logged in. So if we go here, and now we choose this one on the private menu, organizational info. Oh no, I changed the right one here. So, I mean, I don't know, this one should have been showing in Spanish and it didn't, so I messed up something, but anyways, that's gonna ruin my demo there. Okay, perfect. Let me see if I had other things that I want to show about that here. Those are good. Now, I think what we should do now is that we should move on with the training of the membership training that we have for today. So,
Real quick, before we do that, we have
yes.
one question.
Yeah, thank you.
Will you be able to have a mileage report for each volunteer at the end of the year?
Mm-hmm. Right, it's a good request. We don't have it yet, but there's definitely an idea that should go into ask.helpfulvillage.com as an improvement, and it makes a lot of sense. Okay, here, Joel, if you have other questions, maybe now is a good time for questions about the improvements we did this month, because I'm gonna, if there are no questions, I can move on to the member training. But if there are questions, maybe now it's a good moment. Okay, we can go on with the member training and then come back to questions. So first thing is we're gonna do, we did a specific member manager training, right? So for that, we have created a separate presentation that we have here that I'll be presenting today. First thing I wanted to say is that there is a lot of information for membership managers. If you go to the Help Center, maturity membership. So I'm gonna show you that, how to get there. If you go here and you type support.helpfulvillage.com, that takes you to our Help Center. And basically, as Joel explained before, you can search different things here. If you wanna say, for example, membership, it's gonna show some, it's a search by keywords. The other way, if you're specifically a membership manager, the thing I would do is that I would click on maturity phase, because maturity phase is explaining kind of, it's more of a hierarchy of training articles, right? So you click on maturity phase here, and then here you have a section about memberships. And if you click on memberships, you have a list of training articles about what should a member manager be able to do. First, how to set up membership settings, how to activate and customize automatic templates. So these two first ones are about kind of setting up things, kind of the automatic templates for renewals that you need to do, creating the membership types, the pricing of each membership type. If you're already running your operations, you probably already did these two things. Let me scan through the list before we go into details about this one. This is what the main thing that I wanted to explain today is the member manager monthly task. What should a member manager do each month? But before we open up this one, just want to go through the list so that you have an idea of what we're explaining here. Is how to create a new member. You can learn here how to associate members, how to create a household membership, how to set up 2 household members with a shared email. And you can read through the list, but have an idea how to update your credit card, how to configure membership types, what are the membership status options, what is the member directory, retention plan, set up local coordinator. So there's a lot of articles. Each one, each one of these things is a link, so you can open it up and read more about it. What I really want to do with you today is a member manager monthly tasks. Maybe Joel, maybe if you can share this link in the chat, I think people will appreciate it. And this basically, okay, what if a member, just board decided I was the member manager, how can I be a great member manager? And these are suggestions. If you have feedback, we can change this, but this is what we thought would be great. We said, as a member manager, you should be able to answer the following essential questions. And these kind of what you want to know as a member manager. I can make this bigger, sorry. First thing you want to know is how is the number of members evolving over time, right? Another thing you want to know is that who are all the active members of your village? So do you know your membership? The next thing is how many members did we lose last month and why? What was the drop reason? 4 is how many members are expiring this month? How are all membership dues paid? How many new members joined last month? How many members renewed last month? So kind of essentially, this is kind of the overall, where are we at with numbers, the active members. This is the people that are leaving, what should we, or about to leave, what should we do? This is everyone paid, and this is essentially the new people or the people that just renewed. Now, these are the questions you may be asking yourself as a member manager. So this is how to get the answers to those questions, right? So for this example, we'll be assuming that the present date is December 1st. So we recommend people to run these reports on the first day of the month. I mean, if you do it on the 2nd or the 3rd, it's fine. But essentially, it's just what should you check every month? And for this example, we'll say today is December 1st. So the first thing I will do is that I would create the impact report. So by the way, these are these different reports, and we give you the reports we recommend you create each month. So you can go into impact report from the November 1st to the November 30th, active members on November 30th, expiring members from November 1st to November 30th, expiring members, this same report, kind of same name, right? When you see here on the second option here, but the same report, you can run it in the past, and it's going to tell you the people that expired in the past. And if you run this report for the current month, so from December 1st to 31st, it's going to show you the people that are expiring in this upcoming month. So it's the same report, but just change different dates. There's this new report I will be showing you, which is what are the missing membership payments, which is it produces a spreadsheet file containing the payments for active members that are missing. And then you have the new members report that is here, this button here, and then renewing members, where you can also choose from November 1st to November 30th. So obviously each month you need to adapt these dates to fit the current month. Okay, let me go back to the training, because I'm showing you these buttons and what you need to produce, but I want to show you how to get there.
Let's take this moment for a question real quick.
Mhm.
We have a question. Can member managers and volunteer managers send emails using email message or individual emails to members?
Yeah. So you're talking about individual emails to members. Okay, so let me show you two things. So the way I understand the question is here. So I just search a person in our demo database, right? So this person is a member. I can go to the member tab and I can see the member number, status, the membership type, and the different membership dates she has. The question, Joel, if I understand it right, is that you want to sometimes send an email to this person. So if you want to send an email to this person, you would go to the activity tab. And on the activity tab, you have different interactions there has been with this person. So one is number of emails you have sent to this person, text messages you have sent to this person, and different events this person has participated in. And this down here, you have the request that this person have requested, the volunteer service this person has provided. Now, your question is here if the person can come in here and send a message to this person.
Yeah, do member managers have this ability?
I need to double check that one. Basically, well, let me see. First thing is, what I can see here with all these tabs, right, is because I have admin rights. So admin rights, I can see everything, right? Now, let's talk about rights first. If you go on the general tab of any person and you're an admin, you can see the rights this person has, right? So this person has no rights at this point. If we looked at my profile, I have the admin right that allows me to see everything. Now here, I can make this person a service request manager, an events manager, and web pages manager, treasurer, and a member manager, right? So if I want to make Trula a member manager, I would click that, and basically just this update here. Now, when I'm an admin, I can see everything. When I'm any of these managers here, I have a limited view of this admin profile, right? If I'm a member manager, I can definitely see all the member information. I need to double check if you can see the activity here to send emails. My thinking, I need to double check if it is the case, but I think the member manager should be able to see the emails that have been sent to this person. But obviously we always thinking about, oh, is there something sensitive here in the emails that have been sent that this manager should be able to see or not see? In my thinking, the member manager should be able to see it. If you're, for example, a website manager, you should not. So kind of those rights depend on your manager role. Okay. Perfect. The other thing I wanted to say is that there are some emails that go out here. For example, your village can set up automatic renewal emails that go out. You can set up an email template with an invitation to renew that will automatically go out 30 days before expiration date. If that email goes out automatically, it will be shown here. Or you can also just click on send message this person and do that manually. So I can click that here. I can say invitation to renew your village membership online. And this is gonna load the email template that we have set up and customized with our language. And I can always come down here and send this message manually at this time. Okay, let me see if we can get back on track with the training. So yeah, I think member managers should be able to send that email, see the emails that have been sent and send an email. And if it's not the case, we're gonna make that possible. Now, if we go back here to the presentation, is that if you're a member manager, right, and I showed you what are the reports you wanna run every month, you may be wondering, well, how do I run my monthly reports? And this is what the document's gonna explain now. Basically, step by step, very easily, is the first of the month, and we wanna run the reports. So what you need to do is log into the platform, and then you select on the menu, you select the admin option, you select reports, and then you select reporting docs, as you can see. And then when you do that, it's gonna show you the reporting docs page that contains all these membership reports, contains reports for other things, but if you're a member manager, you're interested in these reports. When you click on any of the buttons on that report, it will show you a little pop-up here with different options for that report. And the options can be different per report. For example, here on the top right, you can see the active member options, and it's showing select village. If you have a hub and spoke, you can produce these active members report per neighborhood or for all local villages, etc. When you look at this case, it's only showing one date and not a date range, because basically we can only produce the active members on any given day you want. And you can have other options here, adding admin notes to that report. If you look at the expiring members report, it's a little different, the options you have in there. So you can also choose per neighborhood, but you have a date range. You can wanna know the people that are expiring from the 1st of January to the 31st of January. And then you create report, and then basically the report comes. There we have, reports are different depending on the calculations and complexity they require. Some of them are produced immediately, so you get the spreadsheet file a few seconds after that. Some of them require a background processing. For those that require background processing, you will see a message on that page that says the report task is running, and basically when the task finishes running, we will send you an email saying that and that email contains a link. If you click on that link, it will allow you to download the report to your computer. Okay, so now we're into how to use the reports to your advantage. Before I show you this, because this is kind of a summary, I'm gonna move back to the article that we have here, right? So this is what we were explaining before. Remember this? So this is really important. It's like, what are the questions you're asking yourself as a member manager? These are the reports you're producing for these different dates. And then the next thing that I'm explaining on this report is like, okay, you produce these reports, but now what? What do you wanna do with each one of these reports? So for the impact report, what you wanna look at if you're a member manager is look at the total number of members today and the evolution over the last 12 months. Are the numbers going up or down? So I have here a sample report of an impact report. So it looks like this. When you print an impact report is showing, well, the name of your village, a date range for the date you want, and the number of social connections. This chart up here is showing the evolution of members. So in this hypothetical example, basically it's showing that we had 0 members in June 2019. In May 2020, we are around 220 members. So obviously, as a member manager, you're happy that the number of members is evolving in the right way, and you can see the evolution in the last 12 months. On the active members report, basically it's a spreadsheet file. So you have a list of all your active members. I don't think you need to do anything specific with that report, but it's just if you need to have a look, if you need to look at the list of all your active members, you wanna do it with that report. Now, on this other report, 3 and 4, is expiring members in the past for the last month. So these are the people that expired this last month. You wanna take potentially some action as a member manager. So for example, you wanna contact them, the recently expired members, and suggest them about renewal. In many cases, maybe it's just that, they just didn't receive the renewal invitation, or they didn't send the check yet, so they were about to send the check. So just, you wanna make sure that you don't lose any members just because you forgot to ask them if they were going to renew. There is this other similar report, which was the expiring members in the near future, in the upcoming month. This basically, if you want to make look with them, you know that they will be expiring soon, so you want to be extra careful and invite them to renew and make sure that they're happy with the services they're receiving from the village. Now, number 5 is a missing membership payments report. So I want to show you this one. So this is not only the people that left, but you want to make sure that everyone that is a member basically has made their payment. I'm gonna finish this list and then I'm gonna go back to this missing membership payments report. The other report you wanna print is the new members. So this is the people that joined your village recently, and you wanna maybe put on your to-do list to contact them maybe a month after they join to make sure that they're interacting with the village and they're happy with the interaction they're having. If they're not using the village services or events, you wanna invite them basically to join the community more actively. And then the renewing members, you can produce this list of people that recently renewed and basically thank them for the renewal, or also invite them and make sure that they're interacting with the village. So these are kind of the regular tasks that we recommend for a member manager does every month. So you have here the question they're asking themselves. These are and the numbers here correspond, right? So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the report they should be producing to answer each one of those questions. And this is what they need to do with each one of those reports to be a super effective, super professional member manager. Okay, now next thing I want to do is I want to go on demo and I want to show these reports. So if you go to admin, reports, reporting docs. Perfect. So the impact report, the one-pager report where we saw the chart with the evolution of members, you can produce it from here. Click on this button. And then the membership reports are all the way up here. So they're very easy to find. So if you want to produce active members, you can click on this button. And as you can see here, these are different options that are offered. If I want to have the active members at the end on the 31st of January, on 31st of December, sorry, you can just click that date. You choose if you want to have it with admin notes or not. You don't need the admin notes for that report. Just click on that create report and it will come up. Now you see here that it's only one date. Here, if you go to a different report, this one is called, for example, expiring members. You can choose here if you want a specific neighborhood or if you want for all your village. And here you choose also your date. So here, what we're saying is that I want to know all the members that expired last month from December 1st to December 31st. And then just click report and it's going to download a spreadsheet file, right? So this is for past month. In our example, we're saying that we want to do those people that are expiring this upcoming month. So you also can come down here, say from the 1st of January to the 31st of January and just create the report. So that will download 2 different spreadsheet files to your computer. Then renewing and other things. If you need to look at former members, well, then you can also print other reports, all members, all the members they have ever been. But the report I'm really excited about is this one here, missing membership payments. So this one is new. You have not seen it before. So if you click on this button, it's going to download to your computer basically a spreadsheet file that looks like this. Basically, we're going to put the name of your member here. I'm going to show the membership status. So all these people are here and active. And then we're going to show the dates, the key dates for membership. So one is join date. They are members since this date. One is the last date they renewed. The paid until date that is really important is so for example, I mean, imagine that we have a new member, right? So that is joining today. So the join date will be today. In the system, their expiration date, if you have a yearly membership, their expiration date will be a year from now. But this paid until date is going to tell you if they have paid until today or if they have already received the one-time payment until the last day. So this paid until date is really important. Now, we have these following columns work as follow. Here, you can have your members paying one-time payments or monthly payments. So basically this column here, if it says monthly payments, it's because you already have set up the monthly payments with them, and basically we're going to calculate the missing payments. And then membership type, drop reason, member number, and then you have the other fields about this person, their address, their email address, contact information, etc. Now, yeah, so basically, let me go back on demo because I wanted to show you a few things here. Trula. So this is a test member we have, and I wanted to show you the member tab of this person. So this person has a member number 2. She's an active member, and basically she's a member since March 17th and has not renewed. And basically, this is a paid until date, an expiration date. So you can basically adapt these dates. You know, for example, if you have been receiving membership payments not on Helpful Village that you have not been registering because they were paying on some sort of separate membership payment, and you realize this paid until date is not correct, you can always come here and say, no, this person has not, we have received payments of this person until April 17th, 2020. And then basically she still needs to pay her membership dues from this date to the expiration date. And then you can save this information, this membership information. Let me see if I think I'm a member on this one. Let me see if I can find another member, because I wanted to show you what happens when you create a new member. I don't know if Christina is a member. Let me see. She's a member. You know what? Let's create an entirely new member. That's gonna be the best thing. We add a new person, and then here let's create a new member whose name is John Smith. This is M plus John Smith at helpfulvillage.com. So this is the email of this new member that just signed up, and his name is this, John Smith. We can subscribe him to MailChimp or not. We decide what we want. And if he allowed us to subscribe him to our MailChimp mailing list, and then save this new person. So that added a new person to the database, right? So at this point, we have his name information. Let's add the address here. This is Main Street, New York City, New York. Oh, I don't know the zip codes in New York, but let's assume something like that. Then we save this. Yeah, West Harlem. Okay, now next thing is like he has an address, he's a general tab. Next thing is that he's not a member yet because we have not created. So I wanted you to see what happens when we create this membership. So if we click this button, we'll make him a new member. This green dot here shows that he's an active member now, because by default, we're gonna give him a new member number that is chosen by the system, but you can change if you need to. Is now an active member, but you have different membership statuses: deceased, dropped, expired, deleted. Obviously, he's a new member, so he's active. You can choose the membership type if he's an individual membership, in a household membership, etc. Here, say that individual works fine. He's a primary member, and he's a member since. So what I wanted to show you here is these dates. When you're creating a new member, this is what the system is going to do by default. When you create a new member, it's going to give it today's date by default. Now, this can be correct or not. It's our best guess at it. So, for example, if you have on your records that this person is a member not today, but since Monday, well, you can change this date and say, well, no, his join date is on the 18th. But the system guess is that when you create the membership, it's going to give the member since date as the day of today. There is no last renewal date because this person has never renewed. And then basically what we're going to do by default is that the paid until date is today. So, he's a member since today and he has paid until today because we have no payments for this person. But the expiration date by default is going to be a year from now. So this is the 20th of January in 2022, right? So basically when we're producing the missing payments for membership, what we're going to do here is that we're going to compare this. We're going to see, if the paid until date is different from the expiration date, it means that this person has not paid his annual membership yet. And then there is a smarter calculation we do if we're setting up monthly membership payments for this person, because then we need to calculate how many payment events will there be from now on until the expiration date. But here, just reviewing this information, just save. And then basically what we can see here is that the paid until date is not matching the expiration date. And it's normal because we just entered the membership information and we have not entered a membership payment. Now, if we do a membership payment, the system is going to calculate the membership fees based on the membership type that is predefined for this person. He's on an individual membership. He's showing the expiration date. And then basically, we can enter the payment here with different options. If I'm an admin, I can enter that as a credit card payment or cash or check. And in this case, we enter the credit card payment. It's processing the payment now. And now on the pay tab of the person, we see that the credit card has charged successfully. If you go to the, not the member tab, but the pay tab, you can see that the $200 payment has been entered. And then you can go back here to the member tab. And this is beautiful because, what happens now is that the paid until date has been automatically updated with the lump sum payment so that the paid until date matches the expiration date. Sorry, you see, so it was 2021 here before we paid, but now we paid for a full year. So the system automatically updated the paid until date, and then therefore, because these two dates are the same, he has no payments membership. He will not be showing in the spreadsheet file I showed before. Whew. I'll pause here. I think there is quite some information. There's another option, where you can set up monthly payments depending on the membership type of this person and enter monthly payments by credit card. And there is a smarter, another smart calculation to make sure that we are changing every time we receive a monthly payment, right? What we're going to do is that we're going to change the paid until date by 1 month. So if you do a 1 year payment, we're going to change the paid until date for 1 year. If you do a monthly payment, we're going to change the paid until date by 1 month every time we receive a payment every month. I hope that makes sense. And that's basically what I'll do here. So I'll just pause here. What I wanted to do is just come back to this article, in the support article. I think Joel posted this one to the chat. So this is, I know it goes a little bit quick, but we will be publishing the recording of the training we did today. But basically for me, the most important aspect for your member manager is to be aware of this training article, which is what are the monthly tasks, what are the different things you can do. And obviously you can adapt it for your own village, right? If you think, well, we don't need to check on renewing members, or we don't have enough time to do the new members, onboarding checks and stuff like that, but we want to take care of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can obviously adapt this training to the needs of your village. Cool. Perfect. So we're going beyond the hour, and we don't like that too much. So I just need to make sure we can finish today's presentation with 2 pieces of information. First is what are the new current priorities, what we will be working on, and we want to include into the February release. So some of these items from before, and we haven't had time to change it. In particular, I know this one is very popular and requested by villages, adding a 1 report for that is adding up the hours for service requests, hours and check-ins. And yeah, we need to add that for February. We got busy this month with all the other stuff I just demonstrated. And then these questions, and then essentially what I wanted to do, I thought I had a slide for that, but basically what I wanted to say is that, well, we're past the hour right now, and we don't like doing that too much. We can take 1 or 2 questions today, but I think it makes more sense to basically, ask your questions for next week's webinar. The software will be on the server for everybody, and it will be easier for you to investigate and ask your questions at next week's webinar. So in that case, if you have questions that can wait until next week, I would say you can send an email to Gary or to our team, but basically Gary will be working with our team to put our questions together for next week's webinar. Next week's webinar is with the Village to Village Network. Just a reminder that you need to register for that event. And maybe, Joel, if you can put on the chat kind of the email address for Gary for the questions for next week, that would be great. And then other than that, if you have a question that is super important and you want to ask today and cannot wait until next week, you can unmute yourself and ask it right now. But we only want to take 1 or 2 because we don't want to go too far over the hour. Okay, I muted myself for 2 seconds, but to see if there was someone that had a pressing question. We don't. I think there is no pressing question. I'm sure you have plenty of questions, and there will be questions for next week in the webinar. That's our preferred option. So yeah, please email our team, email Gary, and we'll be happy to answer all the questions about membership management training we did today, or all the other new features next week at the V2V webinar. With that being said, it has been super fun to do this webinar with you all, and I'm happy and I look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.